Hi, welcome to my channel, welcome to John's Model Maker. Today we got Spitfire issues 81 and 82 and build MK1A from Hachette. Now in issue 1 we carry on, we start the control mechanism to go in the display stand. Yay! And in issue 2 we fit it to the display stand. We also have a motor with a label for a cable. Yep, and we finish off the mechanism and add it to the stand. So that's brill. There we go. Let's start with issue 81. Let's get on with the build. So here we have the parts. We have 8101 base of stand for rods. These are all plastic. There's plenty here to do. The metal rod there. 8102 bases stand for rods lower part. 8103 upright housing for rods. 8104 upright housing for rods again. 8105 cap for steel rod and support for acrylic rod. 8106 base for rods. 8107, 8108 and 09 are 3 cogs, which should all be in here. This does look to be 3. Yep. 8110 is a suction cup. 8111 is acrylic rod, which is under here somewhere. I've seen it. There it is. 8112 a steel threaded rod. 8111 a bearing. There we go, along with a pin. There's another label. The pin, yep, 8115 limit switch, 8116 cable label, and then we've got PB screws 2x5mm and again 1.7 by 6mm, and PWB screws 2.5x4mm and 2x5mm. Excellent. I know we don't use all of these screws, but we'll have to separate them later because there's 4 lots of screws and just 2 bags. So we get all the parts out. There's a suction cup as well. I think we can leave that in because we won't be using that. We'll be using that and that, and obviously an acrylic rod. That rod has got a larger hole there than there. We'll find out a little bit more about that afterwards. We'll pop that to one side. Therefore now what we need to do is identify the parts that we need first. There we go. Yep. Right, step 1, 8112 and 8113, which is the bearing, which is this. We need the bearing and the rod. The bearing sits on top of the rod like so, and then we need to thread it through here so that it comes through just like that. See that? There we go. Obviously you need it that way up. Then we need this acrylic rod, which pops in there like so. Right, that's the small hole, so it fits that way. That then takes us on to step 4. Take the acrylic rod and check the holes in each end. One is much larger and this is at the top in this diagram. Fit the end with a smaller hole in the socket part 8106 as shown. Carefully turn the assembly over and fix the acrylic rod in place with 2.5x4mm PWB screw. Let's get the screws out. 2 of them. Yep, so it's not them, it's one of these. Excellent stuff. Right. Do you wish they put them in the separate bags at times? And screwdriver. There we go. There we go, that's the screw in place. Nice and tight. Excellent, just like that. Brilliant. Take part 8105 and we fit that over there and all the way down to that bearing, so that it fits just like that. There we go. Step 6. Take the upper part of the base for the stand for the rods 8101 and check how the housing 8103 fits. Right, so that's that. 8101 and 8103 is this part, and it basically goes, where is it? Like so. Fit 2 times 5mm PB screws. There we go. Now we need to fit this in place here. I think that goes like that there. Yep, through that slot. Fit the rod assembly from step 5 into the recess in the upright housing 8103 so that the steel rod 8112 is inside the housing. The vertical tab on part 8106 fits into the slot on the inside of the housing. Yep, there you can see that, so it goes up. Okay, now we need to fit this part over here, catch all that together. Let's see if we can do it without. There's another tab there, and that needs to go over like so. There we go, I should have got it. And it's a bit fiddly. There we go. Right, that's secure, that's fine. Now we need to fix this together with 4 screws. There we go, just like that. That is up to step 9. Now you got to remember, is at the back of here, we have that tab sticking out there. Okie dokie. Check that the tab on part 8106 is in the slot in the housing 8104. Then fix the housing to the upper part of the base plate 8101. Makes it nice, very nice indeed. Now what we need is the motor from the previous issue. We need to fit this in place. Going off that, it goes just there like so, and we need to screw this in place again. That's the first one. And that's the second one. There we go. And I think we do need them. We'll keep them spare. We don't need the other flange headed one, but we do need those 3. But not in this issue. Now what we need is the first of the cogs, which is the T40 cog, which is this one I believe, this one, there's a 2 on that one and a 1 on that one. I suppose it matters really what is on that one. Carefully turn the assembly over, take the T40 cog 8107, fit it on the shaft of the motor, and it doesn't mention the number anyway, so we'll let go on. There we go, just like that. And then we need to fix the pin into the socket in the upper part of the base of the stand, which is just there, like so. That just is held in loosely, and then we need to fit the teeth of this cog, line it up with that pin. There we go, there we go, there you go. And then we need this one there, like so. Excellent stuff. Now what we need to do is capture all that together. I think first of all what I'll do though, seeing as we've got some plastic gears, is I shall put some silicone grease on them, because you never know. There's always the unknown. Take that one off, see the pin come off. Pop a bit around there. You don't need a great lot on this. Put that pin back on. There we go. And put that there like that. Dab a bit more. Get on. There we go. Okie dokie. I'm happy with that. Once it gets moving round, to work its way around. Now, that goes on, or should go on, like that. Should sit nicely, smoothly. Well, that cog had just popped up again. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Now for this we need where are they? 2 times 5mm arrow friends, these screws. There we go. Brilliant. That is how that should look. Now that is issue 81 complete. We do need these screws, not the flange one. That's just a spare, and we need these other 3 that we had left over. 1.7 times 7mm screws, I think they were. Oh, 6mm, 1.7 times 6mm. So we need them, and we need them. That is issue 81 complete. Okay, now we've done issue 81, let's have a look at the contents of the magazine. First page, Yanks over Salerno. The Allied amphibious invasion of mainland Italy at 30 September 1943 was heavily supported by US RAF Spitfire units, which flew beachhead protection patrols and fighter bomber missions. In the main picture we have a Spitfire VCJG707 of the 310th Fighter Squadron 31st Fighter Group, flown by Major Virgil C. Fields, who was shot down by return fire from a DO-217 as troops of the US 5th Army landed on Salerno Beach on 9th September 1943 during the invasion of mainland Italy. And over into the next page we have number 307 Fighter Squadron. The 307th Fighter Squadron flew several marks of Spitfire in combat on the Channel Front and in the Mediterranean. And in the main picture we have Spitfire VB pilots of the 307th Fighter Squadron at Debden in October 1942, shortly before the 31st Fighter Group was transferred to Gibraltar in support of Operation Torch. Activated at Bay Field, Indiana under 3rd Air Force control on 30th of January 1942, the 307th Pursuit Squadron was one of 3 such units assigned to the 31st Pursuit Group. Equipped with the P-39F Era Cobra, it was transferred to New Orleans Army Airfield in Louisiana shortly thereafter. Excellent stuff. And in the next page, the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. The Battle of the Philippine Sea was the largest carrier battle ever fought. It resulted in US victory, costing Japan 3 flat tops and, more importantly, the last of its experienced naval aviators in what was nicknamed the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. And in the main picture we have a Japanese plane is shot down during the Battle of the Philippine Sea in June 1944. Excellent story. That is 4 pages long. And then we have issue 82, a motor and a label for a cable. Excellent stuff. Let's get on with issue 82. Okay, so we don't need these just now with the label on the motor. We'll put the screws to one side. What we do need is the motor, and we need to put on a label on the cable. We don't need the packaging, so we can put that to one side. Just unfurl this. There we go, it's a little bit tight that. Take the label off, but this doesn't come off easy, as we usually do. There we go, finally. And that is that in place. There we go. That is the label on the cable. And what we do need is to put the limit switches on the back of the mechanism, the motor mechanism. Here we have the motor mechanism, and basically we need to put this cable at the top and the bottom. The red part, or the red lead, that goes to the switch, goes to the top, and the bottom one goes to the bottom. There we go. There's the red one, there's the black one. Put them in place, and we screw them in place with 1.7 times 6mm screws. That's the red one. There you go, you can see a little location peg on it. As per the instructions, it goes upwards diagonally, and we pop in a screw. Excellent. These are the screws that we kept to one side. That's that limit switch in place. There we go, you can see the switch there. The tab will knock that up when it reaches that point. And this switch on the bottom again is put in place with the same screw, and is already activated. There we go. By that tab, so basically the rod will stop at that point. The electronics will sort that out when it's activated. The motor has already been tested independently. There we go. That's the last screw in place, and you can see them just about. Get it in focus, I think. There we go. Yep. Black and black is difficult to see. Oh, there you can just see the switches levers. Excellent stuff. Now we need the suction cup. This just sits in on top like so. It's not a tight fit, but that is that. And then we've got a label which I forgot to put on the cable. Seems I'm wrestling with this label again. Off you come, there we go. Wrap that around the red part. I don't think it really matters as long as it's in place. There we go, excellent. There we go. Now what we need is the display base. So bear with me. Oh, stick it. Okay, so now we've got the display base. All we need to do is put the mechanism in place. Pop that there. Take the suction cup off because we don't really need that at the moment. And basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Well, there we go. There we got the limit switches here, there and there. When that tab hits them to stop going up or stop it from carrying on going any further down. That is it. That is issue 82 complete. There we go. I'll just move that round. And there we have the motor. Where the suction cup there, like so. Excellent stuff. Now that we've done that, we can have a look at the magazine. Okay, that's issue 82 complete. Now we've got that back up on the shelf there. The motor's separate with the suction cup kept together so they can't lose it. The motor does work. I have tested it off camera and it has added a bit of weight to that base as well now, so I've slanted it because I'm not sure if that side can actually take it, so I'm sure it was bowing a little bit. But anyway, let's have a look at the magazine. Okay, let's have a look at what the Americans over here, largest overseas contingent. Some US volunteers had flown with the RAF in the Battle of Britain, but there were still relatively few Americans in Britain until the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941 brought the United States into the war. Winston Churchill had been mightily relieved when Hitler declared war on the United States just days after the attack on Pearl Harbor. The British Prime Minister received an assurance from President Franklin D. Roosevelt that the American strategy would be to hit Germany first, and American ground troops began to land in Northern Ireland in January 1942. And in the main picture we have US Army Sergeant James F. Hawkinson from Memphis, Tennessee, squatting, explains the rules of the game of horseshoes to British troops from a searchlight unit that was stationed nearby. This photograph was taken at the American camp at Burton Bradstock in Dorset in 1944. Excellent stuff. And the next article, Spitfires over Anzio. In the main photograph we got the Spitfire MK1A JF627 of number 417 Squadron, takes off from Cannes in Italy in December 1943. Following the Allied landings at Anzio on 22nd January 1944, RAF Spitfire units of the Desert Air Force fought a fiercely contested campaign with Axis aircraft to maintain air superiority over western Italy. The Allied invasion at Anzio on the west coast of Italy to the south of Rome began on 22nd January 1944, codenamed Operation Shingle. Its primary aim was to outflank the German Gustav Line, which was proving impossible to breach. There we go, that's the first article. The next one is number 232 Squadron, and the main picture we got Spitfire Mark 9s and VCs of number 232 Squadron at Lentina, East Sicily in August 1943. Decimated in the ill-fated defence of Singapore and the Dutch East Indies in February 1942, number 232 Squadron reformed with Spitfires and fought on the Channel front and in the Mediterranean until switching to transport aircraft in late 1944. In the main article, number 232 Squadron was formed on 20th of August 1918 to undertake anti-submarine patrols over the North Sea from Royal Naval Air Station Felixstowe in Suffolk. It consists of personnel for numbers 333, 334, 335 flights, and the unit flew Felixstowe F2 and F3 flying boats until it was disbanded on 5th of January 1919. And obviously the article goes into a lot more depth, the history of the squadron. And on the next page we got Kamikaze, the Battle of the Philippine Sea in July 1944 cost the Imperial Japanese Navy 3 aircraft carriers and around 600 aircraft. More disastrously, it expended most of the Japanese Navy's remaining experienced pilots. In the main picture we have USS Bunker Hill was hit by 2 kamikaze pilots during the Battle of Okinawa in 1945. Desperate circumstances brought about desperate measures to counter the overwhelming naval advantage the Allies had over the Japanese. Tactics that have been regarded as suicidal have been observed by the Allies since Guadalcanal in 1942, when Japanese troops threw themselves at defended positions in fearless banzai charges across open ground. Not good times. And there we have 4 pages of how the Japanese were defeated. And then coming in issue 83 we have the mechanism for the second mortar. Brilliant stuff. Now if you're wondering about any audio on this video, when I was doing issue 82 my audio failed. I hadn't noticed. I did check my microphone beforehand and it seemed to be fine, so I don't know how I lost the audio track, so I've had to narrate over the instructions. Obviously look at the magazines, I've managed to redo that again, but it took me a bit longer than normal to put this video together. The quality of the audio for the narration is fine. All the instructions are still there, the build is still there. It's just unfortunate I did lose the audio track. Issue 81 that was fine, so I don't know what happened with issue 82. I don't know if there's been a glitch in the system or what, but I've checked everything since and I've done all the recordings and it's working fine, so I don't know what happened. So apologies for that if you're wondering what is going on. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy that video. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up, hit that notification bell and subscribe. Thanks for watching, stay safe and I'll see you soon. Bye.